recording. Okay. This portion of the program is being brought to you by the Aquarius 7 Broadcasting Network. Check us out. We got 3 stations, rock100diz.com, oldschool101.com, and, of course, rhythm96.com. Paul, quit breathing like you're going to fall out. And we are now ready to tape this segment of the Sports Crunch. And matter of fact, just so it doesn't look lopsided, because you've got Rini and you've got Cassino and you've got Paulie on this side of the camera.
Hold on, this is the reverse Oreo, by the way.
Yes, it's Walter P. So I want Walter P. to stand up.
Pasty gangster.
Come over here. You can hang out for 10 minutes on this side of the room.
Yeah. Wait, are you sure you can show his face?
Yes.
I don't know. It'll take the cops like an hour to get here.
Right.
Well, look, first of all, take your headphones off.
This could be like the dating game.
Yes. Now get over on this side. Look, actually, stand in front of the president.
Yeah, you can stand in front of Obama.
There you go. Now, everybody can see Walter P. in the picture. Now, doesn't that look kind of...
The pasty
Walter, move over to your right. You think so?
Barack Obama. Oh, now it's perfect.
Yeah, now I can see it.
All right, there we go. So now, there's the entire...
Color coordinated.
Yes, the entire crew of the Sports Crunch on rock100diz.com.
A reverse Oreo and one.
Okay, there you go. Now, let's talk about the Church of the NFL. Big game.
Icing on top.
The biggest game in the history of mankind. Well, now let's talk about this. Let's talk about the Pro Bowl real quick.
And let me say, who asked me the question last week? How many people you thought were going to be at the game? Didn't you ask me? What did I say? You said a sellout, didn't I?
I can't believe
the exact numbers. Now, I'm sure the NFL gave some tickets away, but 70,697, the biggest crowd in Pro Bowl history since 1959.
Now, what was now? Just for the sake of an argument,
1950.
59, I said.
Okay, 1959. Where was the Pro Bowl in 1959?
LA.
That's a good question.
Walter P. I would buy either there or Chicago.
I would say
Los
LA.
Angeles.
I thought I heard them talking about it.
Well, you want?
I know Los Angeles in 1967 was the one time that they had the Super Bowl and the Pro Bowl at the same place, but I'm not sure about the Pro Bowl being there in 1959. I was told back in the day the Coliseum was the biggest.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the LA Coliseum, absolutely.
And it was a way other site, so I think that's probably where it was at.
Until global warming, and then it cooled off in downtown LA.
It was
hot and Compton, but not downtown LA.
We were talking about it off the air, and I didn't watch the whole game, but I had to watch it for a while. More than I would have watched it when it's after the Super Bowl. So I think in that regards, the ratings will be out probably in a couple of days, but they should definitely get better ratings.
And you figure the Super Bowl players there on the side. In fact, I even saw Peyton Manning in that sense. I think he was actually helping offense for the AFC. So at least,
he wants that extra 20 G's if his team wins.
Yeah, I mean,
does he get paid?
I'm sure. Yeah, you still have to.
No, hold it, but he didn't.
They made them show up and come down there to be on the field, so that's why they got paid.
Okay.
Because they were required to come
I liked
down.
it the week before. Did you guys like it?
I liked it. I thought it was a real good idea.
It was something different.
And I think the commissioner's going to keep it that way. I mean, he's going to go back. He has to go back to Hawaii for 2 years, but he already said he wants the climax of his season to be the Super Bowl, the pinnacle. He doesn't want it. He thought it was anticlimactic to have the Pro Bowl after, and I kind of agree with him. The only people that wanted it after were the players because they want that free trip to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And if you look at the stadiums they're going to be putting the Pro Bowl in, if they do that like they did this year, it's going to be in Dallas, it's going to be in Indianapolis, all these brand new state-of-the-art, massive facilities. People will go to the game. If people are shut out, like say in Indianapolis, if they're shut out of going to the Super Bowl, they'll go to the Pro Bowl and be inside just to feel like they're part of that week of festivities.
Yep. That's true, but see, here's the problem, though. Now, if it's back in Hawaii for 2 years, that means Dallas and Indianapolis, 2 brand new stadiums, are going to miss out on the Pro Bowl.
But there's what is there
after Indianapolis?
Well, what's the realistic?
New Orleans and they haven't voted on does New Orleans actually get it, but they probably will.
What's the realistic?
And then it's got to go back to Glendale, to Arizona.
Okay, but what's the realistic rotation? 6 or 7 stadiums realistically. Let's think about who gets. Let's see, Miami,
Tampa,
New Orleans, Atlanta.
No, Atlanta's kind of out of
Let's
it.
keep Atlanta.
no.
So those three. Let's put Dallas in it.
Dallas,
Arizona
Arizona,
is 5. I'd say San Diego, right?
San Diego 6.
6. I mean, I can't really. Those 6 are in the main rotation.
Well, I don't think San Diego's going to get it now because they're having stadium issues now. In fact,
Okay,
I'm
so
glad you
then
brought
that's
them
really
up.
only 5.
But San Diego's getting ready to get that new stadium, the green stadium they're talking
Because
about. building.
Jacksonville's never going to get it again.
Well,
With no hotels.
no, San Diego. No, this week on San Diego, they are staying this year, this upcoming 2011 season there. But by next year, they can opt out of that. They could go up to that stadium that they're talking about building up in L.A. in the City of Industry, and that's the team that L.A. really wants. They want the Chargers. They don't really want the Jags. They don't really want the Vikings. They want the Chargers.
Yeah, and if you really think about it, anybody who knows their NFL history, a.k.a. Walter P., the Chargers were actually,
The Los Angeles Chargers.
yep. So, back in the old AFL.
Can
So.
I have my music, please?
Oh, you want your... No, we're not... No, they don't get... No, they're out.
They're out.
That's it.
They're out.
Oh, that's it.
We're
To
not
the
giving
fall.
them the love.
That's
No
it
love.
to the fall. Oh man.
Yes, no love. Now, speaking of love,
The nation's loving the Saints.
yes, the nation really
Who that?
wants to see the Saints
Who that?
win. Like
Who
the
that?
pants coming down. I mean, if they're not talking about pants coming down, they're talking about the Saints.
And I think with Dwight Freeney being not being 100% next week, because even if he's playing, he will play, but he's not going to be at 100%. I think a lot of people think the Saints now have a chance.
He's gonna play with a torn ligament in his ankle. Man,
Well,
brother.
they'll shoot him up. I mean, but that doesn't matter. I mean, if either the ankle can work or can, it's a grade 3, which is a torn ligament. I don't know how he's going to do it. I mean, he's a speed rush type of guy, and he spins a lot. So I would much rather have 100% backup in there than a 50% Freeney. So yeah, that is. I mean, you can arguably say after Manning and Breeze, Freeney's the next most important player out of both teams in the game. I mean, you can make that argument. So.
And what they were saying is now for the Saints, it'll free up somebody like either a running back or a tight end or somebody that don't have to double block Freeney, because Freeney sometimes requires 2 guys to block him, and now at the way he's going to be, he can go a single offensive lineman on him or tight end, whatever, and somebody else will be free as an offensive player.
But yeah, it's definitely a big loss. But the thing about this game is, everyone, you're saying America wants New Orleans. I think pretty much everyone likes Peyton Manning too. It's one of those games you just, unless you're actually from one of the cities, you just want to see a good game. You really don't care who wins. That's kind of how I
wanna
feel
see-
with this game.
I like to see history being made. A high-scoring game, and for the first time in the 44 years of the Super Bowl, overtime.
Could have it.
Overtime would
With
be
the
the
way,
icing on the cake.
the way the playoffs have gone and these teams scoring back and forth, you could see a game like that.
Absolutely, and a high scoring one at that. I'm talking like the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, like a track meet, 38-41 last night.
I got a question to pose for you guys. We have 2 minutes left on our YouTube segment. Does Peyton Manning, who has won Super Bowl, does he need to win this game to solidify himself as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time?
No.
No, because he had the best record in a whole decade, so that pretty much gives him...
See, and you know me, I usually side with you. I think he does, and only because of how much weight is put on Super Bowl wins. I'm in the Joe Montana club. I think Joe Montana was the best quarterback. Peyton Manning certainly is up there, but I think 2 Super Bowl wins carries a lot more weight than one. So,
Especially when you have
So, but
Tom
you're gonna
Brady.
hold on now. I knew Tom Brady. I knew somebody had to open up their mouth and bring up Tom Brady. But my point of the matter is this: you've had great quarterbacks that didn't
Dan
win.
Marino's a
The first one I think of was Dan Marino. What about
Absolutely.
Fran Tarkington? I mean,
And it's hurt both of them in their legacy.
and that's
Yes.
my point. It's hurt him. So
And Marino would have had 1 Super Bowl ring. He would have totally been thought of differently than he is now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and look at Bart Starr. Would he really be considered as good as a quarterback as he was if he didn't win those first 2 Super Bowls?
yeah, Bart who?
Bart Starr.
Is he kin to Bart Simpson?
No.
Marge.
Green Bay Packers. Vince Lombardi. The first Super Bowl in the Coliseum.
That's true. That's true. Well, that pretty much wraps up our Super Bowl segment here on our YouTube segment on rock100diz.com. So everybody's
Terry Reinhardt's
Hey.
pulling for the Indianapolis
Peace.
Colts, following us on Facebook.
who's pulling for the Colts?
Terry Reinhardt.
Okay, very good, Terry. Thank you very much.